What's up, guys? Hey, today we're going to talk about side hustles that you can start in a small town. What's up, everyone? My name is Brian. I'm a small business owner, a real estate investor, and an avid side hustler in a small town of about 19,000 people. Welcome to my channel and one of my hustles, my grocery store. Hey, and out of curiosity, let me know the population of your town in the comments below. Small towns are not necessarily known for their booming economies or their Fortune 500 companies, but there's still plenty of opportunity here to make a significant income. First, let's discuss the criteria that I used when I compiled this list. I took the top roughly 100 ideas that I could find, and I ran them through what I'm going to call my BS test. And here are those criteria. Number one, can it provide an immediate income? There are some really great ideas out there, but they can take months or even years to cash flow. YouTube. So I decided to leave those things off the list and just focus on things that could create a quick cash flow for you. And number two, they had to require no special skills or licenses. I mean, if you need cash immediately, you don't have time to go to barber school so that you can cut hair on the weekends for a little extra money. Am I right?
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Number three, the idea has to be repeatable. I'm always floored at the side hustle lists that include things like sell stuff you don't use anymore. That's not a side hustle. That's a garage sale. Now, if you have a way to find items over and over again that you can flip, that might be a side hustle. But just selling stuff that you're not using anymore, that's not a side hustle. It's a great way to raise a few extra bucks, but it's not a side hustle. I chose ideas that could build long-term cash flow, things that you could start and continue to do as long as you want. And number four was scalability. Scalability is the ability to grow the business beyond your personal labor output. Basically meaning the ability to get the business to a place where it earns money for you while you're at home, sleeping, eating, on vacation, whatever. An example that I've used in the past is in-person guitar lessons. So as an instructor, it takes one instructor to one student. That instructor's income is limited by the number of lessons they can teach in one day. On the flip side, if that instructor taught those lessons one time and recorded them and created an online course, you could sell access to that course over and over again. That online course is now earning you money without you having to do any additional work. That is scalability. Another famous term for this is passive income, and that is how wealth is created. You have to get to a place where you are no longer trading your time for money. And finally, a flexible schedule. This is a side hustle, so you need to be able to work it around your day hustle or your regular job. Okay, so with those criteria in mind, here are the 5 side hustles that you can use right now with very little or no money out of pocket. And guys, I'm sure you've heard every single one of these before. It's nothing new. But one thing that us humans are really good at is dismissing ideas based on preconceived notions. So do me a favor, try to clear your mind and look at these ideas as if you're seeing them for the very first time. And that's gonna be hard to do, but try. Number one, automotive detailing. Auto detailing is a broad spectrum of services. It could be as simple as soap, a few towels, and a vacuum cleaner, all the way to paint correction and ceramic coatings. There are a ton of YouTube channels that show the detailing process and discuss all the intricate details of the service. I would recommend watching some of them for ideas. All right, what are the pros of auto detailing? Income. Done right, this can be a ridiculously lucrative business. The charge for a basic detail can range anywhere from $100 to $300. Let's assume you charge $150 and you do 3 cars every Saturday. That would be an income of $450 per week, or $23,400 per year. That is one heck of a side income just for washing 3 cars a week. Next, cost of entry. This is probably the most attractive thing about the business. You can literally start with a bucket, a few towels, and a vacuum cleaner. Granted, as the business grows, you'll want to invest in better equipment so that you can expand your offerings and charge more. But in the beginning, start small, bucket and towels. Scalability. Very scalable. Train good people, pay them well, per car, not per hour. And as long as you're able to find trustworthy people to help, you can grow this business as large as you want. You could be at the beach while other people are washing the cars for you. Now for the cons. Weather. Anytime the weather is bad, you're going to be out of work. If you live up north where it snows, you're out of work for a whole season. And water source. You will need access to a lot of water. If you aren't able to work from home, you'll need to figure this out. And maybe that means going to the customer's house where you can use their water. Skills and knowledge. The more in-depth you get with your service offering, the more skills and knowledge you'll need. I would suggest starting small with a basic wash and vacuum and then learning as you go. Licenses and permits. Some communities may require a special license or a permit. Most of the time, smaller towns are more lenient than the more urban areas, but you should still check with your community just to be sure. Number 2, junk removal or moving business. Drive around neighborhoods looking for trash by the street. Simply offer to haul it off immediately for the homeowner. A lot of communities offer roadside pickup for yard debris or really anything that doesn't fit in your trash can, but those trucks can take weeks to come by. You find homeowners that don't want to wait for that truck to come by, and they'll pay you a few bucks to haul it off. Nobody likes an eyesore in their front yard. You could post ads on all the usual online forums like Craigslist, Facebook, whatever else you could find. You could maybe put up flyers where permitted and just offer your services. Guy in a truck will move. Okay, so the pros of this business. Cost of entry. Assuming you already own or have access to a truck or a trailer, you're in this business for free. If you don't, then this probably isn't the side hustle for you. The profit margin is good, but not as good as auto detailing. One other benefit of this one is there's a side hustle built into the side hustle, and that is scrap metal or flipping items that you're paid to haul off. Check with your local metal scrap yards and get a list of all the metals that they accept and what they'll pay you for them. For example, if you're paid to haul off a washing machine, maybe you have a local appliance store that would buy it from you or that could fix it for cheap so that you could resell it. Nothing better than getting paid twice for something. Once when you haul it off, once when you sell it. Okay, cons. This business can be a little more expensive to operate. Familiarize yourself with the cost of dumping things at your local landfill. They usually charge by the ton. You just need to know that for when you're picking things up. You'll also have the cost of gas in your truck and the cost of labor should you need help. Most of the time when people call you, it's because they have either something large, something heavy, or a lot of somethings. And in that case, you're gonna need help, and help's not cheap. Just make sure to account for all these things when you're pricing your service, and then you'll be fine. Another con, weather. Again, bad weather is gonna sideline most of these jobs, unless you're okay with getting wet. I mean, that's up to you. Number 3, power washing. Have you ever power washed something? If so, you know how mesmerizing it can be to watch something dirty become clean so fast. And this really makes power washing an easy sell. Simply ask your prospect if you can power wash a small area of their driveway for free. Sold. This almost always guarantees a sell. Most people don't realize the difference that a power washer can make. And when they see it, they want it. Okay, now the pros of power washing. First, cost of entry. Any hardware store will have multiple options of power washers for under $500. That is, if you don't already own one. Then you just need to put gas in it, and you're in business. Don't buy an electric one. That will limit the jobs that you can do. Profit margin, stupid high. As long as you can tie into your customer's water source, your only expense is gas and wear and tear on your machine. Scalability, it's easy. Just get more power washers and find trustworthy people to run them. You can go to the beach while they power wash. Now for the cons, again with the weather. But then again, you're gonna get wet anyway. So what does it matter if you power wash in the rain? But that's up to you. Another potential con is water source. If you stick to residential jobs or to buildings that have an external water source that you can use, you'll probably be fine. Most people would be perfectly okay with you tapping into their water supply. However, some jobs may require you to supply your own water. So unless you own a tanker truck or some sort of reservoir that you can haul around on your trailer, you're probably gonna miss out on those jobs. Number 4, yard maintenance. This is probably the most popular side hustle in history, but for good reason. Looking at the pros, cost of entry is relatively low. Most of you probably have access to some general lawn equipment, but if not, you can get started at a very basic level with a $200 push mower. This would definitely limit the jobs that you could take, but it would be a starting point. Like every other side hustle, you can purchase more and better equipment as the money begins to flow in. And your profit margin, once you have your equipment, the only expense is gas and maintenance. So the margins should be really good. Recurring business. While all of these side hustles offer some level of return business, this one offers the most. Grass grows fast during the growing season, leaves need to be raked in the fall, and snow needs to be shoveled in the winter. That makes this a year-round business with recurring jobs. Scalability. Like the others, find trustworthy people and then train them well. You can then focus on finding the jobs while your crews go out and do the work for you. Now for cons, weather again. At this point, I think we can all agree that bad weather is not good for our pocketbooks. Equipment. This side hustle does require some fairly expensive equipment if you want to take it seriously. So be thoughtful and have a plan before you go out and spend a bunch of money. And knowledge. Yard maintenance does require a little more knowledge than most of the other things on the list. You'll need to be familiar with how to trim and cut grass and plants without damaging them. It's really easy to cut grass too low and kill it, or to trim a bush wrong and stunt its growth. Just make sure that you know enough not to damage someone's yard before you get started. Do a little homework. Number 5, house cleaning. There are a couple ways to work this side hustle. You could seek recurring jobs cleaning personal residences, or you could solicit realtors or real estate investors for jobs cleaning empty houses before they hit the market or in between tenants. Okay, for the pros, cost of entry. It's a very low startup cost. If you clean your own house, more than likely you have everything you need to clean someone else's. And if you need some extra stuff, use your income from the first couple of houses to go buy any additional equipment or supplies that you need. Basically a free business. Profit margin should be very high because really there's no expense other than your time. Recurring business. Whether you're cleaning someone's personal residence or an investment property, there will always be houses that need cleaning. Speaking from personal experience as an investor, if you prove to be someone that can get a property ready to rent for me, you will get a call every time I have a vacancy. It's really hard to find someone that's willing to do a good job. And weather. For the first time, weather hits the pros column. Why? Because you can clean a house when it's raining outside. It doesn't matter what the weather is, as long as it isn't a tornado. So this may not be a bad side hustle to partner with one of the others. For example, power washing. When the weather is bad, you clean inside. When the weather is good, you're power washing outside. That way, you can work no matter the weather. Okay, so now for the cons of cleaning a house. Scope of work. This may be less of a con and more of a warning, but there are many levels of clean. You'll need to be sure that you and the customer are on the same page and that the appropriate levels of expectation have been set. Outline a detailed scope of work and have your customer sign off on it before you get started. Make sure to specify exactly the job that you will do and what they are paying for it. If you don't do this, you may clean the toilets while the customer expected the oven to look brand new and could care less what the toilets look like. Get it in writing. Okay, bottom line, don't be afraid of hard work. That's what it takes to be successful. All of these ideas and plenty that I didn't mention are easily scalable. And again, that means that you can build them up to a point where others are doing the physical labor for you, while you simply oversee the business end of things. Once that has happened, you are no longer trading your time for money. And that is the only way that you can make substantial income for yourself. That elusive passive income, making money while you sleep, while you're on vacation, while you're at home with your family. That's the secret. That's the name of the game. I hope you found value in this video and that maybe it's caused you to rethink a side hustle that you've just overlooked in the past. And hey, if you have an idea for a side hustle that I didn't mention, or even thoughts on ones that I did, put them in the comments below. You may help someone on their journey to financial independence. And that's what this channel is all about. Guys, thank you again. Thank you for watching the whole video. And I hope to see you in the comments section. Bye.